no, this is the Royal Spotlight episode. I have no idea because I've got to check. And today I am with the amazing Ghost. Hello, Ghost. How are
Hello.
you?
Good. Good, Flick. Yourself?
I'm good. So this is Ghost. He is a streamer for a while and a really good friend of mine, and I'm really excited to finally have you on my podcast. So thank you for
Thank
taking
you.
time out.
It's been a while. We've tried to organize this a few times.
We have. We're just both very busy in different schedules.
Yeah,
So, but yeah,
pretty
we
much
finally
it.
got
That,
there.
that's my excuse at least.
Yeah, I'm pretty busy now, but at the start I wasn't. So Ghost,
Mhm.
before we get into all the a million stuff I want to talk to you about, can you tell us a bit about you and about your streaming and tell these people who you are pretty much?
Yeah. Okay. So hey, I'm Ghost. Ghost of the Machine. Ghost in the Arcade. I have a couple of different forms. I've been streaming since for about 2.5 years now.
Oh yeah?
Basically, I'm very much a variety streamer. I do a lot of just chatting content. I also am very much I love the technical side of streaming. I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of as you can see, like set design and sort of weird graphic work and stuff like that. I really enjoy the creative side of streaming, and that's how I first got into it.
Oh,
Um, I
that's
have a
interesting.
background in film and television. I sort of graduated from the Victorian College of the Arts doing film and TV, and then proceeded to do nothing with it for 10 years. Um, until, as you do with university degrees, apparently. Apparently yours, you're actually finding use out of it, but
Yeah, I think I'm like one
mine,
in a very few that actually get a job in the degree they study, so go
yeah,
me.
yeah, exactly. So I never got a job really in the degree the area that I studied, but I discovered streaming and then decided that this is what's for me. So yeah, I do variety stuff. I specialize in new releases. I do a lot of music-based content, a lot of just chatting. So
Yeah, cool. And
that's
I've
pretty much
noticed
me.
that you have all the screens behind you, which when you sit in just chatting, you have like all the video clips that come up and everything. Or
Yeah, yeah, I can sort of change what's on the screens and things like that. I think I can sort of change it to my Discord and all that to different buttons. See, I can like change it to be different things, and I haven't
it's
really got
very
it set up
clever.
at the moment.
It's
But
very clever.
yeah, it's I've got those Stream Deck things.
Yeah.
I've got two large Stream
Wait,
decks.
the
So I
large
think
one or the
that's
extra large one?
the extra large one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 4,
Oh my god.
32. So I've got 64 Stream Deck buttons in front of me,
Holy dooly.
and they're all
Do you use them?
full. Yeah, I do. I do. So
Do you
I
have like folders within folders in them, or they're just like one tab
there's
only?
folders within folders as well. Yes. So that's a lot of buttons. So
Holy shit.
a
I'm actually
lot of
thinking of getting an extra large one because my, like, the original size one is just becoming too small.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've just got memes. I've got lights. I've got everything. I'm just a freak of this. I've actually got foot pedals. You don't know about this.
No, I don't know about that. What's with the foot
I
pedal?
have a let's. I don't think I can pick it up because I don't think it'll show at the camera. But I have a three button foot pedal system where I can actually change my camera angles without touching anything. So while I'm gaming, I can actually switch to my back camera and my front camera and everything. So kind of cool.
Wow. Is that like, is a foot pedal meant for streaming, or have you just taken a foot pedal from something else and somehow made it
It,
work?
it was just a USB foot pedal that I
Yeah,
was selling on
right.
Amazon that you can just bind to a key.
That's really cool.
So I just bound it to an OBS command to switch my cameras, and yeah, it's weird. I've got a whole bunch of brand new stuff that I haven't really shown anyone yet. So
That's a really good idea, though. So you said you haven't really shown to anyone yet. Is that going to be a coming thing
yeah,
for
yeah, that'll
streams?
be a thing debut in the next couple of days. So it'd be kind of cool. So I'm just sort of finalizing it, but it's just really good to be able to be playing a game and then use my foot to like zoom in on my face or to change to a different
Yeah.
camera angle, and I can keep playing and I can continue to talk to people while changing cameras. So
I can totally see like the benefits in having a foot pedal.
it's actually really cool. It's
I
like
might have to
really
like look
good.
into one of them. A foot pedal.
Yeah, it's not much. I think it was like $30 on Amazon or something like
Oh,
that.
that's not
So
bad at all.
hmm,
Yeah, wow. So you said you got into streaming 2.5 years ago. How did you
correct.
find streaming?
I found streaming through a friend of mine by the name of Bobby J. He's a partner streamer.
Mm-hmm.
He uh he basically asked me one night. He's like, "Do you want to come and watch some of the WWE wrestling with me?" I'm a big WWE fan. Big nerd. You can probably see like belts and stuff around me. But
I see the belt behind your
this
head.
was a yeah. So this was a big event at the MCG here,
Oh yeah.
and he invited me along as and we were guests of 2K Games at the
Mm-hmm.
time. And I didn't understand. I was like, why is this game company like inviting you places? And then I found out that he did streaming. And the sort of like the VIP box that we were in for that event was full of other streamers. And I
Wow.
got talking to them and having drinks with them, and I was like, "What is this a legitimate
Is this a
career path for
thing?
people?" Yeah, and legitimately that night I went home, I installed, Streamlabs as you first do, and then
Yep.
graduated to OBS later and started sort of building ridiculously terrible scenes and
Oh,
trying to stream
wow.
Age of Empires and things like that. It was the start of a love, I guess. So
That's really
yeah, it
cool.
was
That's
interesting.
just such a different way to get into it. Most of the time you hear it's like, oh, just playing games and someone mentioned it. But you
No,
actually have like this full, like real life story behind it.
yeah, I had an interaction with a bunch of partners, and I was like, I want to live this life, getting invited to
Yeah.
events for free, and drinking free drinks and everything. This
And
sounds
free
amazing.
drinks and free food and free
Yeah,
parties and
exactly.
everything for free and yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty
I
cool.
want to be the big time, maybe.
Yeah. Now, you've just gone from Twitch to Facebook, and now you have shared some big news that you're going back to Twitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I took an offer from Facebook to become a Facebook gaming partner, which is
Yep.
like their highest tier over on Facebook Gaming, and I spent a month over there, having a play around with the platform, seeing if it was the right fit for me and my sort of content.
Mhm.
Turns out it wasn't quite the right fit. Like they've got a really good thing going on there as well. Like, they've got some fantastic plans. They've got some fantastic
Yeah.
basis. I don't even the basics. I just stumble over my words. The basics of what they have set up over on Facebook Gaming is fantastic. I think it
Yep.
just needs a little bit more time in the oven to become a real player in the
A
field.
real thing.
Um, and I do a lot of just chatting content. Sometimes for like 2 hours at the start of my stream, I'll just talk to the community, and that's not something that exists on Facebook at the moment.
I quite like your just chatting streams as
Hmm.
well. They're very interacting. They're very including and yeah, I quite enjoy
I
them.
really enjoy them, and unfortunately, if you want to play a lot of Call of Duty or multiplayer shooters and things like that, which you
Okay.
do,
I
Flick,
do.
yeah, yeah, it'd be a great platform for that. But unfortunately, my type of like I want to do IRL content. Like you couldn't do your IRL content over on Facebook. It's just something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, right. Is
Um,
it set up the same as well? Is there different categories over there to search people,
no,
or is it? Ah,
it's different categories, but they only added like a just chatting style category a
recently.
month or two ago. So it's like
Oh,
brand new.
yeah,
So I think I
right.
may have been a bit early over there. But the thing is, I missed the culture of Twitch. I missed all my friends. And
I understand
just
that.
and the technology side of Twitch is very, very like this stuff with the foot pedals that I'm doing and everything like that. I couldn't really do that over there.
Yeah.
Because I needed the sort of the back end Twitch API to play around with. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm
So did you find there's a lot of stuff
really
that you couldn't
enjoying it.
use over there? Like, such as your foot pedals, was there other integrations that you've used in Twitch that you weren't able to implement on Facebook
Um,
due to not having, like,
Not
the capability to be able
really.
to?
I think that their big advantage over on Facebook is their metrics. Like I could literally go into the back end and see a minute by minute breakdown of who was watching,
Oh,
how
wow.
old they were, and where they were in the world. Like
That's really cool. That'd be really
really
interesting.
focused. Yeah, it's honestly that part of it is fascinating.
Because then you really get to know the demographic of your community, really, and how to cater for them as well.
Correct. But there's also those privacy concerns as well. A lot of people
That's
on
true.
Twitch don't like their real names sort of being out and about there. So there's two very different slices of like a streaming cake, I guess. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think I prefer the purple one.
What could you take away from Facebook? So you had a month there. What did you learn from being over there, or what can you gain or take away, or the
I
positive
think
side
the
of it?
biggest thing I can learn from Facebook is that not to sort of take things for granted because I kind of had to start from zero over on Facebook. So
Yeah.
I sort of had that little I'm so used to having like, 30, 40, 50 people on Twitch. And like a super
Yeah.
active chat and stuff. It was really weird going back to having like hardly anybody in chat and sort of starting again. It was
Odd.
quite sort of sobering. Like I
Yeah.
forgot how to talk to myself, and I had to like talk to myself for a while, and I haven't done that in a long time. But
I struggle talking to myself. It's probably my biggest weakness is talking to myself.
I'm just not used to it. I think I was
Yeah.
good at it when I first started on Twitch. I mean, because everybody has to. That's the thing about streaming is that everybody starts streaming at the hardest, most difficult part, which is you don't know anything about the platform. You don't know how to use OBS or Streamlabs very well. You
Nope.
don't have anyone in your chat to keep the conversation going. You have to talk to yourself. You don't know anything. That is literally you start in the deep end,
That's
and
so
as you go
true.
on, it gets easier, and then eventually
Yeah.
it gets. Eventually, it reverses itself because you get so many people in your chat that you can't talk to your chat again as
Yep.
you become like sort of well known, but it's just amazing because everyone who comes in, they say it's really hard, and I'm like, yeah, it is hard to start out with, but it does get easier.
Yeah.
So it was kind of sobering being thrown back in the deep end.
Did you enjoy it? Like, were you happy?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
guess you
did
said
like
you're a bit more.
120 hours or something over that course of that month to
Oh wow.
sort of make the most of the opportunity and sort of see if I fit it in over there. And the people behind it, the guys over at Click Management, are fantastic. They're really, really supportive and really, really lovely. It's just it's not the right fit for everybody, but some people just
That's
completely
true.
thrive over there.
And
It
some
really
people are
just
great for
depends.
YouTube, and some people are great for Twitch. So it just depends, like, where
Correct.
you find that niche for you,
Yeah.
I guess, as well.
I hate editing. Just despise editing. If I want to do editing, I'll like you guys might laugh at that because if anyone knows me, they know that I basically edit on the fly. I do all of
Yeah,
my cuts and editing while I'm streaming, but I just hate sitting down and editing video.
it's really
Um,
hard.
you've done a bunch of YouTube stuff, so you're way ahead of me. I don't think I've released
Yeah.
a single YouTube video, but I know that I have to like grow as a content creator, and
Yep.
yeah,
There's
I'll
this
get
new
there
thing that
eventually.
I want to record because I have no idea about it. Well, I'll tell you, you know what it is. Well, kind of.
Mm,
I want to make something for Chalak, for
mm,
YouTube, because there's so many people like myself and other people who have no idea what Chalak is or how the hell to
yeah,
use it. And I want to start a YouTube on that. I've been saying this for like maybe 2 months now, and because I'm so goddamn lazy and don't want to edit, I still haven't done it yet. So I want
yeah,
it, but I just haven't done it. So I
yeah.
totally understand the whole editing. It's like,
Oh
oh,
man, I completely forgot
calm
about
down.
Shellac. I haven't re-added Shellac into my overlays and things like that.
You better.
You should check out Shellac. Shellac's really good.
Yeah, Chalak it is.
She'll put a link in the description
I
below.
will, down
Sure.
below we'll have the Chalak link,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
awesome. Which Ghost has
Do check
used
them
a
out. It's good.
lot, and I use it all the time as well.
And it's actually kind of funny because I like got the Shellac people to like somewhat admit that I'm kind of part of the horse race, even though I'm not.
Yeah,
But
you like,
they
you're like,
admitted
I'm
I
your
officially
ghost. You're
am
like,
now.
okay. Yeah.
Because for those of you guys who don't know, Shellac has this little interactive like 4-horse race thing, and one of the horses is called Princess, named after Flick.
Yep.
And one of the horses, the black one, is called Ghost, and I was one of the early people who adopted Shellac as well, like early-ish. And I was like, did they just put a horse named after me? And then I found out it's only because it kept winning all the time, so they shot it, and
Yeah.
it was a ghost horse. But then the developer was like, all right, fine, it can be named after you.
It can just
So
be named you.
yeah, we both officially have horses named after ourselves,
Which is pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah, I
I
mean,
like it. Horse
it's
race is
fun.
probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I think it's very obnoxious, but it's fun.
They've actually made a phone app now for Chalak.
Really?
Yeah. So people can be more
I'm
interactive with games on their phone apps.
I'm completely out of the loop. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I really want to do a bit more of a community focus with what I'm doing returning. So I think I need to get Shellac working tonight. Sure.
Yeah. So you are returning to Twitch. Would you like to
Mhm.
tell everyone when you're returning?
So Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. AEST. When I say six, like starting between 6 and 8 p.m., I haven't quite decided exactly what my start time is going to be, but it's going to be Tuesday. What's the date here?
Oh
so
God,
Tuesday,
you're
the
gonna say, like,
9th of February.
Tuesday the 9th?
Yeah. So Tuesday night, 9th of February, Australian Eastern Standard Time, I'll be returning. I've been away for about a month and a bit. So I think it's going to be pretty big. I feel like I'm
Pretty
kind of
good.
like, I feel like I'm kind of crawling back to Twitch, but no, it's where my heart belongs.
I don't see it crawling back. You gave something an experiment and it wasn't what you wanted, so you're coming back
Yeah.
to something else. I don't think it's crawling
Exactly.
back. By the time this is aired, this will be on the Friday, so Ghost would have already had his first
Yeah,
stream by then.
exactly.
So go watch the VOD
Very
or go
fast.
follow him at twitch.tv/GhostInTheMachine.
That's right.
Yeah, be back over there. Now, I need to ask you, why were you Ghost in the... What were you called?
Arcade.
Yeah, why were you Ghost in the arcade? What was the thought behind
Because
it?
Ghost in the Machine is not a trademarkable name.
Oh,
Ghost in the Machine is various different bands and companies and things around the world. So it's not it's not something that I could go out and trademark as a brand.
yeah.
So I decided to make the switch to Ghost in the Arcade when I went over to Facebook, and Ghost in the Machine was taken on Facebook, obviously, by the band and stuff.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
I would like to be that on Twitch, but unfortunately, someone took the name when I announced it. So
Oh no.
yeah,
So
so
you're
I
kinda
don't know
stuck
who.
between two things right now. You don't know if you're the machine or
Yeah.
the arcade.
Well, I figure that a Ghost in the Machine can be my overarching brand, and Ghost in the Arcade can be like my gaming content, and I could do Ghost in the Cinema, or if I do like movie reviews on YouTube
Oh,
and
that
stuff
would be
like that.
cool.
So
Yeah.
I feel like
That's a good idea.
the machine can be the overarching, and then I can have the arcade for games. cinema for movies and Ghost in
Yeah.
the Kitchen for like, you
For
know, cooking
cooking?
content or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah. So I think I might make it work for myself.
What would you call yourself for like IRL stuff?
Ghost in the world, Ghost in the world, I guess.
Ghost in the
Ghost in the.
World? Yeah.
I don't know. I'll think of something.
Are you trying to get back into IRL streaming as well? Is that something you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah. I
try and
really
work
enjoyed
in?
IRL. I was really getting into that. I think I was enjoying it. I'm still
Mhm.
very new. I've only done like four or five IRL streams, but I'm enjoying the
Yeah.
technology and um people seem to enjoy it, which is cool. I just Australia is a very, very hard country to IRL stream from because our
Oh, isn't it
reception
just?
is
Shit.
not. It's bad.
Yeah.
The best
Yeah.
way to explain it.
It is
I can
such hit
make.
and miss with that reception.
Yeah, yeah. It's like legitimately, I planned like there's parts of the Melbourne Zoo that don't have reception. The entire like elephant tiger section doesn't have reception.
That's
So
crazy.
I
And that's in
planned a big
Sydney.
stream. Yeah, yeah, and well, actually, that's yeah, good point. We went to
It's
Sydney.
yeah.
For those
It's
of you
in
guys who
Sydney,
don't
there were
know, Flick and
nothing.
I, yeah, we tried to stream from the Taronga Zoo in Sydney together as a co-stream, and the reception was so bad we had to actually cancel our stream.
Yeah. It was
The
really
fact that it was
disappointing.
42 degrees had nothing to do with it.
No, that was just an added extra on top of it. Oh my
That
god,
was
that was so
that was
hot.
the hottest day. It was too
I
painful.
do have a Nighthawk now, so I actually want to go back and see if it works with the Nighthawk.
I
Just to
don't think it
see.
will because the Nighthawk jumps between various bands, right?
Yeah.
And
It's only because
I was
I
on
can now go to
Telstra.
places where I couldn't go before, now that I have it.
Really?
Yeah. It's improved my reception, like,
How much?
massively.
How much is a Nighthawk roughly?
Um, I don't remember. Everyone was fighting over it on eBay, and then it got sent to my house.
That means that you won it and you spent way too much money. Is that what
No,
you're
no, no. I
saying?
mean, like my stream were fighting over it, and one of
It's
the
a
people from my
Nighthawk.
stream won it. I think it was like, I think for the second hand one, they got for like $100 and something for the M1.
So Nighthawk M1.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, they're about $150 for a Nighthawk M1.
yeah. But
Oh,
I can
second hand.
now,
But
yeah,
first hand, they're about $500. Okay.
yeah, and it's
Okay.
great. It's
Well,
improved massively.
I know what I'm shopping for after stream.
Yeah, I didn't get one at start 'cause I'm like, oh, what can the difference be? But now that I have one, and from all my cutting out beforehand, I highly recommend getting one for IRL streaming.
Yeah, no, I think I'm looking forward to getting back to the IRL stuff. I was really enjoying sort of dipping my toe into it. I believe that there's a huge space for Australian IRL streamers
I think so
because I
too.
don't. I think there's like Sploosy.
There's like
There's like
Sploosy, and there's Shook, and there's
they're not Australian, right? Is Shook Australian?
no, but he's been in Australia for 2 years now. He's up on
Okay.
he travels around. He mainly stays on like on Fraser Island and up near like mid Queensland, and then Sploosy's obviously over in Perth, and
And
then
she's a
there's
fishing streamer mainly, so.
yes, she mainly does fishing, and so does Shook. He mainly does fishing. There's
Mm.
Australian fishing. He's obviously a fisher, and he takes people out on boats.
Is that Australis fishing? Australia.
I thought it was
Australis
Australian
fishing.
fishing. Australia's fishing?
We'll figure this out later.
His name is Jim, who lives in Western
Yeah,
Australia.
Jim. We'll just call him
We'll just
Jim.
call him Jim.
Seems easy.
And then there's Nocturnal, and Nocturnal does he goes out on boats with people who do deep snorkeling, scuba diving. He does that, and he also does like astrology
Deep
stuff.
snorkeling. Can
Deep,
we
I'm
just
like
go back?
snorkeling, deep
Deep
snorkeling,
snorkeling. That's what it's
scuba
referred to from
diving.
now on. Right? Okay.
I'm going deep
Can't wait to
snorkeling
go
today,
deep
guys.
snorkeling. Yeah.
uh,
Shallow scuba diving is what I do off the coast.
shallow scuba diving, and then there's a guy who's in Sydney. I can't remember his name.
But yeah,
So
I
there's
guess
not
the point
many.
is
There's like a
that
handful.
there's
There's like
no
5 or 6.
IRL
Like,
streaming. I think is the one category that has a huge potential to blow up now.
yeah,
Because there's just
definitely.
not many people doing it, and people love the content and the lifestyle. If you can make it as an IRL streamer, the lifestyle is incredible.
Yeah, I was talking. Well, I wasn't talking actually. I was watching another guy who purely does like pretty much information shows, and he puts them all onto YouTube. And he was saying that the
Mhm.
meta right now is pretty much collaboration, IRL and collaboration streams. And the more
The
that I
meta appears
took
to
that on,
be.
I'm like, I totally agree.
Oh, hang on. Was this you referring to? Yeah, yeah. Hang on. I know who you're referring to. It's the dude on YouTube, right?
Yeah, Devin Nash.
Devin Nash. That's exactly it. So Devin Nash was saying that collaboration is the current meta, and that's why things like Rust and Among Us and stuff have been so popular.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I've sort of been dipping my toe into this game called First Class Trouble. It's been incredible lately. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've
we
seen me
tried to
play that.
play that, but I couldn't get enough people, and then I thought it was over, so we all forgot about it.
Well, it was only a closed alpha.
Yeah.
Like I had to give you keys. So
No,
that the
we
game's
all
not even
got
out.
keys.
But
We all applied, and we all got
yeah.
keys, but then people went on at the same time. Like, one would leave, and then one would turn up. I'm like, ugh.
So that game is the closed alpha's back up for another 2 days actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
open right now. And it'll be closed by the time this goes to air.
Yep.
But that game was on the front page. Sorry, it's called First Class Trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a look on Steam, it's incredible. It was on the front page of Twitch. One big streamer had like 7,000 viewers on the front page of Twitch the other day doing it. I
Oh,
believe it's
wow.
probably going to be like the next big collab game, I think. So
It looked like a lot of fun. Obviously, I haven't played it, but when I
it's,
watched you play, it looked like such a good game.
I think I've got 26 hours in it already, and it was
Oh,
out for like a
wow.
week.
And
So
that's like
yeah,
an
I got really
alpha.
fun. Yeah, and it was
Beta.
only like 3 levels. So yeah.
Oh, levels. Was there
It's really
levels
fun.
in it?
Well, levels is in like you start in the and then you go into you start in the hallway, then you go into the diner, and then you go into like the end room. Like
Yeah,
they're
right.
supposed to be random levels. So I
Yeah.
haven't even played it yet.
We were talking last night about getting into Minecraft. It's normally a game that I knock because all the kids at childcare play it. So it kind of puts like a salty taste in my mouth, but it seems to be like a game that a lot of people still play. Or a
Yeah,
lot of people
I
want
have
to
a
play
pretty
and...
I have a salty taste in my mouth over Minecraft over other things as well.
Oh, really? Do you
Like
care
other
to
friends
share?
and stuff who used to play it that I don't
Oh.
really
Oh, yes.
yeah, that I don't really sort of
You
I
completely
don't
changed
know.
my mind on it now.
Yeah, I just sometimes certain games can just be associated with certain experiences or times and things, which can make it really difficult, even if the game is really good.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
World of
get it.
Warcraft is a fantastic game, but I don't want to ever get sucked back into like raiding and it being the only game I ever play.
Yeah, that's how I feel about
Um,
Guild Wars 2. It's like, I'll just go back
yeah,
to the raids and it's so toxic and I'll just go back to being miserable.
yeah,
But I love the game, it has such a special place in my heart. I'm just like, nope, I can't go there anymore.
yeah. I know exactly what you mean with all
Yep,
that. So,
I feel
that
you for
makes
that.
complete sense. But yeah, I back to what like Devin Nash was saying. I do agree that collaboration is a huge part of the meta at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You've just gotta understand that just because if you're a small streamer and you're collaborating with a big streamer, it's not instantly going to make you a big streamer though.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
need to, if you're collaborating with somebody and you're smaller than that person, my tip is to make sure that you are better than that person in some
Well,
way.
you've still got to be engaging and welcoming
Yeah.
and all that because just because you're collaborating with a big streamer, if you're not entertaining or
Mm.
welcoming or friendly, they're not going to stay. It doesn't matter how big of a streamer you like
Well,
collaborate with.
put yourself in the viewer's shoes there. Like if you're the
Mm.
viewer and you click on the other person that you don't know who's collaborating with your streamer that you like, if
Yeah.
that streamer is not as entertaining as the streamer that they normally watch, then they're obviously not going to come back to you because they're just going to
Yeah,
watch their existing streamer. So yeah,
exactly.
if you collab, go out of your way to make it a special experience. Is the way
Yeah.
I see. You need to make sure that you are try to be more entertaining than the other people, but don't obviously make it all about you.
Yeah, don't
Because
go too over the top.
collaboration with streamers is very difficult, especially if both of you are streaming at the same time. Please use a push to talk key. If you are collaborating with me and you're streaming and you're not using a push to talk key, I'll probably do nothing. Let's face it. I'll be polite to you, but I'll be very very disappointed.
I just go silent. If they're not using a push to talk key, I just end up pretty much stop talking or I'm muted the
Yeah,
whole time because
yeah. That's
I'm
because
like,
you let people push you around, Flick.
to a certain
Let's
extent,
face it.
and then I just don't return.
You're too nice.
Yeah. I'll just mute for the whole thing and just not come back again because I'm like, that was a bad experience.
I think
Pretty
I've seen
much.
that happen before.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. With your IRL stuff that you want to get into, what ideas, like, where do you want to go for IRL? Do you have any, like, places you want to see or things you want to do or...
I've had this idea for IRL that I wanted to do in Japan. I set like
Oh,
a
yeah.
goal for it, and then the goal wasn't hit, so I sort of didn't really chase it up. But I want to do this thing, which is, you know how there's like, you've probably heard the concept of like Twitch plays Pokemon or Twitch plays a certain X video game where
Yeah, sort
chat
of.
controls it. Like chat presses the buttons that go left and right and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah,
type of
yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
So I wanted to do an IRL variant, which is like Twitch controls Ghost.
That would
So
be cool.
well, in Japan, I wanted to put myself in the middle of Tokyo, and then chat controls me with sort of donos and bits.
Yeah, I've had a similar, not the same, but a very similar idea of getting like people IRL streaming together. It's like if you and I are both in Sydney and having like, we start at like Town Hall Macca's and
Yeah,
we have 2 or 3 hours to get to the Botanical Gardens. But in that time, we have to go past and collect things, and then chat can donate or do bits to either like stop us, turn us around, make us
yeah.
freeze, like do stuff
Oh,
along the way, and whoever gets like the Botanical Gardens first wins. But
so like the
chat,
Great Race.
yeah, but chat can either
But
like
you're
help
not
us or
allowed to
hinder
run.
us.
Like you're only allowed to walk, and chat can stop you. You have to collect some things along the way.
Yeah,
That's actually a really good idea. But yeah, I
yeah,
just love the idea of because IRL streaming exists, but the thing is, interactive IRL streaming is not
yeah,
something that if anyone watching this steals it, I'll get very mad at you.
yeah. We got it first.
But yeah, go for it, please. Make it the genre. But yeah, interactive IRL streaming is something I really would like to
Yeah,
delve into.
definitely. It's just I don't really know any Sydney IRL streamers. That's where the issue is. Is like where are the where are the IRL streamers in Sydney? It's funny though
Well, you can
because
just do it yourself for the time being. Like you can. My original
that's
idea
true.
was literally here are the rules. I've got $200. I've got an unlimited public transport key, and you've got 4 hours.
Mhm.
And chat, and I may even give like my credit card details with $100 on it or something to one of my mods or something like that. And I have no control over anything as long as it's not going to get me in trouble. They
Yeah,
can basically do anything. Like someone could put 100 bits in and say, ask the guy in the red shirt for a smoke. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
and I
kind of
have to just
cool.
basically do whatever Twitch tells me to do as long as I don't get in trouble. And they've got money, so they
They've got
might end up
guidelines.
taking me into a beauty salon and getting me to get my nails done. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah, that'd be
God knows
cool.
what they're going to do.
I like that idea as well. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
And people, I figure, I reckon people would donate. They'd be like, hey,
Definitely.
Ghost, how much more is it to get the gel tips on your fingernails? And then I'll have to
Yeah,
ask, and they'll be like $35, and someone will donate $35 and go get the gel tips. It'll just
they
be,
definitely would.
it'd be chaos. I feel in a funny way.
Like IRL streaming has come so far. I remember when I went to Tokyo. When was it? It would have been 4 years ago.
I don't think we've talked about this because I'm
No.
obsessed with Japan.
Yeah, so I went to Tokyo in 2017. 2017 I went and I had just started on Twitch.
Hmm.
And I remember going over there and I was like, oh, I'm by myself, which is fine because I always travel alone. But I was like, I just want to go back to Twitch. I'm like, it'd be really cool to bring Twitch with me. Because I was a brand new streamer, I had no idea that IRL and traveling was a thing. I'm like, this would be such a good idea. And then now, what, 3, 4 years later, how many people IRL traveling? Like, it's like I had this idea back then, and now it's like an actual thing that you can actually finally do.
You could have been an early adopter.
I
Yeah.
could have
I
been, but
I
yeah, it's so exciting where it's going, and there's so much more that there is to create with IRL stuff.
It's interesting that you say that you're like IRL stream, like you sorry, not your IRL stream, you travel by yourself.
Yeah,
That's what I do as well. Like I did America by myself and Japan I was planning on doing by myself. I should have done it by myself. And all like
hindsight.
I really enjoy traveling by myself.
Love traveling
Like
by
I don't
myself.
know why. I think it's more because I can absorb everything. I can do whatever I want whenever I want to do it.
Yeah,
If it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon and I'm tired and I want to sleep for 2 hours, I can
I
do
can.
that and I can't piss
Mhm.
anybody off. I
Yeah.
can stay out till 4 a.m. if I want to. And I figure it puts me out of my shell a little bit because I'm not worried about being embarrassed or anything because
Yep.
I don't know anyone around here. So,
No,
and
I
I always
agree.
end up making friends or locals and things like that. Like in America, I was just making friends everywhere, which was really nice. So,
It's so good. I love traveling alone. I've done America, Europe, Japan, and Fiji by myself. Like,
yeah. And some
I
people are
love
like,
it.
are you crazy? I'm like, no, I
Yeah, they're
enjoy
like,
it.
aren't you scared? I'm like, no. Like, aren't you
It's like
worried? I'm
playing a
like,
video
no.
game. I
No.
enjoy it. Yeah.
And I do some tours, and I find some tours are really good. There was a tour I did in Spain, which was fantastic because the first half of the morning you were with the tour group and you had a guide who would like tell you history about the town, and then the rest of the
Mhm.
afternoon and the night you had completely to yourself. You could go do whatever you wanted. So it was really nice to get like the history side of it and then the free side. And I was like,
So I got to do
sweet.
the way I did the history side. I did the same thing. I book tours whenever I go places.
Yeah.
I always do ghost tours
Oh, yeah.
because you always find out about the history of the town when you do a ghost tour.
Very
Um,
true.
like in New Orleans, I did a ghost tour, and you find out about how New Orleans was created and what happened in the olden days, and what when there was a giant fire and things like that. You actually hear. Obviously, it's more of the dark history of the
Yeah.
town, but you
Still
find you get
history.
to walk around. They show you things,
Yeah.
and you get a bit of cheesy horror in there as well. And I do love that. So
That's really awesome. That's a good idea.
my
I hadn't
cat's
thought
gone.
of those ones.
When did my cat disappear?
I don't
So
know. My
sad.
cat went as well, so both our cats left us.
Now all the viewers are gone. And so
Oh, now they're all gone. There's no cats to keep
exactly.
them here. And podcast just ends. No. So, you want to go to Japan? Let's take Japan out of the equation for a second, because I know you're a massive Tokyo, Japan, like.
See, I am, but the thing is, I didn't get to see outside of Tokyo and the snowfields just north of Tokyo because COVID cut my trip.
Bloody COVID,
so I never got to see Kyoto. I never got to see. I never saw a Japanese temple. I never got to see anything outside of Tokyo and like the snow just north. Never got to see anything. Because half my trip was cancelled, and my entire first front of the trip was all Tokyo. So I feel like I still haven't been there. Yeah, I've been to Tokyo. I haven't been to Japan. Is the way that I see it.
Because I went to Tokyo, but I still went to a few shrines like that are just outside. But I sort of say that I've just been to Tokyo.
And it's so sad because when I first arrived, the cherry blossoms the sakura blossoms were about to bloom. And they would have bloomed 3 weeks later at the end of the trip. And we were coming back to Tokyo at the end. And yeah, I had to go home while I was still closed. And I just want to see a proper, big pink sakura bloom, basically.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the cherry blossoms or the cherry blossoms bloom.
That's the time to go. Even if it costs you an extra $100, $200 to fly over there, it's just so beautiful.
I can now because I'm not at uni, but before...
we can't go anywhere at the moment, unfortunately.
I mean, I can when the borders open. But yeah, so where else in the world would you go to? Apart from Tokyo or apart from Japan?
I would love to go back to America. I did the south end of America, like LA, Texas, New Orleans, Florida. I did the south end, but I've never done the north end, so I'd love to do San Francisco, Washington, Canada, Chicago, Washington DC, sort of that side.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm not a huge European. Like I don't really care too much for Greece or Spain or anything like that. But the thing is, I say that now. That might change if I go there. Yeah. But I do want to go to England, Ireland, Scotland. I do want to go to the UK.
I have no interest in that stuff.
I think it's because I've got so many friends over there.
That's
through Twitch, which is incredible. Like, if you talk to anyone who's a Twitch streamer, you've just got friends from all around the world.
Pretty much, yep.
But I've like a couple of my mods are from the UK. And I've just got really good friends over there and people I really want to meet. So that's a big factor. But yeah, the UK's never really held it much for me. But
no,
I don't really want to go to sort of like India or China. I'd go to South Korea. I think I'd enjoy. I'd like to go to. I'd probably go to Hong Kong. But I think Japan is sort of high on the list for me there. I'd love to go to New Zealand. Not too far away. I'd like to see that.
Could we just like constantly travel for like 2 years? That'd be amazing.
See, I only discovered travel like 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
I was always
Tokyo...
just
No, that was last year. Never mind.
Japan. Yeah, March last year was Tokyo, and America was 2019.
Yeah, right. So you're a new traveler.
Correct. And I'm in my 30s, and I just didn't really like when I was little. We did go to Malaysia once, and I did live in the Philippines for a year, but I didn't.
That's pretty cool.
But then when I moved out of home and everything, I just worked and lived here. I didn't really sort of see too much of travel.
Wow.
But then because I went over to America kind of by myself. I went over with my family, but they sort of went off and did their own thing, and I did my thing, and we met up a few times. But I wouldn't have gone to America unless they suggested it.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I stepped out of the plane to LA, I'm like, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And then I had like a year of doing that. And then COVID came along, and COVID's like, you can't do the things that you like
You
anymore. And I'm
can't
like,
go overseas. Yeah. I like to go overseas like once a year. Pretty much like June, July is when I would always go overseas. Just
I
to
think that's why I liked coming to Sydney.
shake it up.
Like coming up to Sydney was like my replacement for going overseas.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Singapore last year. Obviously couldn't, COVID. So I'm like, okay, I go to New Zealand. Couldn't, COVID. So then I'm like, let's go to Western Australia. And I still couldn't. So I'm dying for a holiday.
You come to Melbourne.
Yeah, I now have a job.
Oh yeah. Well, that means you've got annual leave, right? You can save that up.
Yeah, I'm only on a contract, so in 13 weeks' time my contract ends. So then I hope to go to Perth for a week.
Okay, you got friends up there and stuff, or?
Yeah, at the moment, like a big part of my community is from Perth at the moment.
Oh really?
There's about 8
I'll
of
have
them,
to.
and some of them have already had a meetup without me.
You'll have to meet Splucy too.
Yeah, I know. I've told her about it as well. She's like, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
she's absolutely lovely. I actually met Splucy in Japan.
Really?
Like speaking of that, yeah, we spent 2 days in Japan. Oh, well, I spent 2 days in Japan with Splucy. Which is cool.
Wow.
She just came back from like the snow where she was IRL streaming snowboarding,
That's
which was
awesome.
incredible. But she's absolutely lovely. So we got to have a look around Tokyo with her, which was awesome. We did a couple of I did a couple of streams with her, which was great. So
I want to get Splucy on the
yeah, she's great.
podcast, but I
She's so
have.
busy. She's a partner, and
Well, I haven't really spoken to her about it. Well, I kind of have, but I have an idea of how I want to do it. I just don't know
mhm.
how to pull it off yet, so that's why I haven't done it
How do
yet.
you want to do it?
I want to get it that we're both outside having a coffee.
But the thing is, what do you want to do it when you're in Perth?
No. So she be in
See,
Perth having a coffee and on her phone somehow,
oh,
and
so
me
you
be
both want to do it
here.
as IRL streamers.
Yeah, and record it. Because she's an IRL streamer. So let's try and get a podcast with her in her natural habitat.
Natural environment. Or just
Yeah.
interview her when she's down at the beach fishing while she's fishing.
So I've just got to figure out how to get it to happen.
Just approach her. She's lovely. She's really, really nice. She's always
Oh,
got a
no,
lot
we've
of.
been
She's one of
talking
those.
about it. I just don't know how to record it. I'm just trying to think like technical side of it on how
There's
to
a
record.
there's a lot of streamers out there, unfortunately, that get that sort of purple tick, and they sort of like kind of forget who they were a little bit sometimes.
Yeah,
I've
some
seen
of
it
them
happen a
do.
few times, but
Mm.
Lucy becoming a partner and starting to do partner things hasn't changed her in a bit.
No,
She
she's
still has
nice.
all the
We've
world for
spoken
everybody.
about stuff, so she knows about it. I just
Hmm.
can't figure out the logistics of how to make it work behind it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I know
all.
what it's like. Chaos.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yes, sure.
Lovely chaos.
Travel is good. I think that's the bottom line we're trying to say.
Travel is awesome. What is your favorite, or what is your go-to food or a go-to drink, either at home or
Hmm.
when you go out?
I'm a huge bubble tea, boba tea fan. I love
Yeah, right.
I love those Taiwanese bubble teas. There's a place that's called, heck, I don't remember the name of it. There's a bubble tea place that's near me, and they do this drink called the Bubble Gaga. So I think
What
it's
is
supposed to
that?
be a play on Lady Gaga.
Lady
It's
Gaga.
basically like a passion fruit mango tea that has passion fruit bits in it, but it's also got coconut
Oh, right.
and the pearls. I really, really like those pearls. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a huge boba tea fan.
I've
And
never
because I
had one
live
still.
in wait, you've never had boba tea?
No, I never had it.
Wait, didn't we go? Wasn't that night? Oh no, you didn't come that night, did you? Because
No.
you had to leave early. Because
Yeah.
as soon as we finished eating in Sydney, we went and had boba tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah. So you
left.
just missed
Left
that.
early. Oh,
Um,
they're coming so popular though now. Like,
it's actually interesting. So I live near a place in Melbourne called Box Hill,
mm-hmm.
which is a huge Asian sort of Taiwanese community here
Yep.
in Australia. And I've always lived around this area, and I remember getting boba tea here like 15 years ago, and it would have
Oh,
been.
really?
I remember getting boba tea, and I remember getting like sushi in Box Hill. And sushi, like, I don't know if you remember this, sushi wasn't a thing 15 years ago. Like, you couldn't go to a food
No.
court and get sushi rolls or hand rolls or something like that. There was one place in the city in a little arcade that did it, and then it became
Yeah.
popular. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I remember getting sushi and bubble tea from when I was a teenager from Box Hill, and
That's
it's just watching it
crazy.
explode. So I think it's ever since I was a kid that I love that.
That's
As for
pretty cool.
food, God, food. I love Mexican food. I'm a
Oh, really?
huge Mexican fan. Yeah,
I didn't expect you to say that. I expect you to say ramen, to be honest.
I'm not the world's biggest ramen fan, and I know that I should
Really?
probably like hand in my weeb card or something for saying that, but I'm
Wow.
okay. It's too hot for me. Too hot as in temperature. Like it's too. I don't know. I can't. You can have it in winter, but yeah, I'm not a.
That's
I
fair.
don't know. I'm just not a big soup fan.
That's
I
fair.
So basically, what you're asking me is like if I had. You said I could have whatever meal I want. What would I have, right?
Yeah. What would be your go-to food kind of thing? What would you like? And you said
Wow.
Mexican. What kind
I
of
also
Mexican?
love a good. I love Mexican food. I love fajitas.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
fajitas. That's amazing. But I think teriyaki chicken.
Oh, yes. I love
Yeah,
teriyaki chicken.
just a good teriyaki chicken on some. It could just be plain steamed rice. That's all. It doesn't even need to be anything fancy. Just
Oh,
something. Just a
with
good teriyaki
jasmine
chicken.
rice, teriyaki chicken.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, I'm all on that. So it somehow everything cycles back to Japan for some reason, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I was expecting ramen.
But I know you love ramen
Well, yes, to a certain extent, and no, like until this year, I'd never had real ramen. I'd only made my homemade ramen.
until that stream you did where you went to the ramen place, right?
Yeah, so I went to a ramen place in Armadale, and that was my first one.
Mm.
And that was like, it was so-so. Wasn't bad for a small country town in a I don't know, Asian place, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I went to a proper ramen place in Newcastle, and it was a lot better, just not the flavor that I liked. But I
Yeah,
could tell it was a lot
sort
better.
the that sort of creamy pork tonkatsu broth. Is that what you had? Like,
Yeah, it just wasn't warm enough either. Like it needed to be hotter. It was a
yeah,
bit
I
lukewarm.
think I want to. The thing with ramen though is you can't really get it takeaway or anything like that. You have to go into the restaurant to
Yeah, and you
do
have
it.
to eat it
And
there. Mm.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I should just eat more ramen. I
Or
think
the
that might
noodles
be
just go
the
really soggy. I don't like when they're overly soggy. Because I found
yeah
that.
yeah
But
teriyaki chicken. We can agree on that.
yeah, definitely agree on that. Especially I like teriyaki chicken in sushi as well. Yep.
Yes, I'm a
Yeah.
big tuna sushi fan. That's my favorite one. Just the cooked tuna.
I've gotten onto the California rolls.
California rolls with with like
Yeah.
the fake crab meat in it.
Yeah, I really like the fake crab meat.
Do you do
Yeah.
raw fish? Do you do salmon?
No?
No, the
No?
salmon is so good.
No.
I've got a little story. Actually,
Do
I take
tell.
it all back. I take all of it back. The
Okay.
best food I've ever had was on Santa Monica Beach in Los Angeles.
Yeah, what did you
I
have?
um I went to a place at the time. I don't think it was that famous. It's a place called Sugarfish. Now,
Okay.
Sugarfish, you actually hear like celebrities and stuff refer to now. Like I
Oh.
saw a video the other day where they're like, we were going to order something from Sugarfish, but it was closed. Blah blah blah. But so Sugarfish is this little Japanese cafe thing. I think it cost me like $60-$70 or something for like this 3-course meal or something.
Oh,
But
that's alright.
all it was the sashimi, like the sliced fish, and they also
Yeah.
had hand rolls and
Oh.
various Japanese dishes. It was incredible. But for
Yeah,
some
right.
reason, what the hand roll was it was rice, but it was warm rice.
Mm.
So it was warm rice with the cold piece of fish over the top, and then they had the seaweed wrap around it was
Yeah.
warm and slightly crunchy. It's hard to explain.
Oh,
It was
that's
like
really
the most
different.
yeah, it was like the most amazing hand roll I've ever had in my life. And
Do you reckon that was made like fresh then and there? Like,
oh, that
it would
it's
have to be.
they so what sugarfish was is it's an I think it's like a cafe version. Let me actually take a look here. It's a cafe version of it's by chef Tom Nozawa, who is so Sushi Nozawa is a like a very very famous Japanese place that they have in like Hollywood and stuff like that, where like movie stars go and eat. So
Mm.
Sugarfish is a like a cafe version or a slightly cheaper version of sushi nozawa, basically. And yeah,
Oh,
I still
right.
remember it to this day, just being like the most amazing meal I've ever had to this
That's
day.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
good. Worth every single dollar. The one thing I'm sad about food wise in Japan though is I was going to have Kobe beef in
Yeah.
Kobe.
And
You
you
know
didn't
how
get
they
to.
have like the little tiny piece of beef that costs like $60 or something, and it's apparently the best best in
Yeah,
the world. Didn't get to do it. Sad.
that's really expensive. Would you have paid
But yeah,
$60 for that?
I think so. Just for the experience. I think being able to say that you did, you did.
Fair
The cool
enough.
thing about this sugarfish thing. Sorry to go back to that.
That's okay.
They don't actually have a menu.
Oh, what?
They have this concept which is called Trust Us, and you actually get the Trust Us small, medium, or large,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
the chef just brings out what he thinks you will like. They ask you a few
I was
questions.
gonna say they ask you questions like, what do you and don't you like and stuff.
Yeah, they're basically like, are you okay with sashimi? Do you like this? Do you like these type of flavors? And then you just leave it up to the chef, and the chef just comes and brings you out things. It's
That's really
amazing.
cool, actually. That's actually really like
Yeah.
fun and interesting.
Mm.
I wonder if
Yeah,
there's any
I
other
really
places
liked it.
like that. Surely they'll
I
have
don't
to
know.
have other places.
I mean, I guess it's a very, very Hollywood posh thing to do, I guess, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
but yeah, Sugarfish, I highly recommend it if you're in LA. It's also down near it's literally like a 2-minute walk from, the big theme park that's down on the water in LA that everyone knows about, like the Santa Monica Pier, which has the theme,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yep.
Ferris wheel and everything. Yeah, it's a
Yep.
2-minute walk from there.
Right. I'll add that
So
to my
very iconic.
list. I'll
Yeah,
add
yeah,
that to my
please
list to
do.
do. I already have I have places down in Wollongong and places up here, and there's a place in Melbourne. But I think the America place might have to wait.
What's the place in Melbourne?
Um, Ira Larry said there's a really good burger joint in Melbourne that he likes to go to.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Larry, I love Larry.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look at where I've written it down. But yeah, he
You
said
think
a
of
burger
8-Bit
place.
Burger as the one that's quite popular?
Oh, maybe?
8-Bit is the one that's quite famous down here.
I don't know. I know up here at Wollongong, I need to go to at Chico's Burger Place, and that one was from Plodsky.
Yeah, Plodsky's trying to get sponsored by Chico's,
Yeah,
I
I
swear.
know. I'm gonna try and help him get sponsored by the
Yeah,
place.
he's so obsessed with it.
Yeah, and there's a place up here that does really good uh buffalo wings supposedly, like up north a bit, and also to go get a cronut, which is in town, which is like a donut and a
Oh, cronut. Yeah,
croissant.
croissant and a donut mixed together.
Yeah, I need to go try one of them.
It's like their celebrity name when they date. Cronut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I need to go get a cronut. So yeah, I'll add your Santa Monica sushi thing
Sugarfish.
to my sugarfish to my list.
Yeah,
A
it's
foods
incredible.
to
But the thing
try.
is, I don't think you'd like it if you don't like the raw fish, though.
This
But I
is
do believe
true, but
it's something you should try though, because it's incredible.
exactly. All right, let's bring it back to Twitch.
Sure. Sorry, we got so distracted.
No, I like that. I just have a
Mm.
question about Twitch.
Sure.
What are your goals for 2021?
All right, so
Streaming wise.
2021.
Let's go streaming wise and then go non-streaming wise.
Streaming wise is to probably focus a bit more on focus on community a lot this year. As my community got larger, it was harder to sort of stay engaged with community. I found sometimes it was because more and more people, it got busier. It was hard to do that. I want to go back to my roots. I kind of want to be like, when I'm on my computer, I just want to be sitting in my voice channel on my Discord. You know what I mean? Just like so people can pop in and talk. I want to be a little bit more accessible just to people.
That's cool.
Obviously my plans are a bit different because I wasn't sure what was happening with the Facebook thing. That was sort of my first plan, but obviously that's
Plans
taken a bit of a U-turn.
That's why they're a plan. They're not in concrete.
Yeah, so over the next 6 to 12 months, I kind of want to get back to where obviously I'll get back to where I was on Twitch, but I would like to I'd like to be scratching on the door of partnership by the end of the year, I guess. So
that'd be cool. Yep.
yeah,
Nice.
that's sort of what I plan on doing. I really want IRL streaming to become a big part of what I do. I really would love to have one day a week or one day a fortnight where people know it's, Ghost in the Big Wide World or whatever it is.
I kind of like that name, Ghost in the Big Wide World.
Ghost in the Big Wide World or something like that. But
yeah,
so IRL streaming, I really want to embrace that. I just want to go back to my roots a little bit more. I just want to. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do.
Just chatting, really.
Yeah, and outside of Twitch, I guess I'm sort of working. I'm a community manager for a board game and a card game store called the Gaming Verse down here in Melbourne.
Oh, that's your new job that you got Well, not recently.
A couple of months ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've myself and my partner, we've sort of worked on it for 10 years between the two of us. We've worked in and out of this business.
Oh wow.
But it's recently changed games and changed names and relaunched. So
Yeah.
I'm sort of discovering my sort of board gaming habits a bit more as well. So I've been dipping my
That's
toe into
good.
Warhammer and Magic the Gathering and all these type of things again.
Yeah,
So
nice.
I want to
That's
do a bit more
awesome.
board gaming and things like that. I think once the world fixes itself, I want to try to be a bit more
Well,
outgoing and social in terms of that type
talk
of
to
stuff.
Plotsky about the Warhammer stuff.
I know
He's
he's
been
obsessed, right?
yeah, and he's been doing like the painting and the figurines and stuff, and he's trying to get some.
He's been doing it on stream too.
Yeah, he's doing it on stream. He's trying to get some podcast going with it, and trying to teach
Hmm.
people about Warhammer. So maybe
Yeah.
collaboration. You know,
He
it's the meta.
puts me in there. Yeah, thanks, Devin Nash.
Yeah.
Put me out there as an amateur Warhammer painter or something.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
can't paint. I've got no creative skills when it comes to painting or drawing. Absolutely
Yeah,
none.
neither. I have
Can't do it.
zero as well. Well, that's cool. How are you enjoying the new job? How are you going juggling working? Are you working full time or part time or what? What's your
So
IRL work?
I'm doing 12 hours in the store. Um,
Yep.
just sort of doing a little bit of retail stuff and sort of planning stuff in the store. I chose to do that because I wanted to stay in touch with the community and things like that.
That's not 12 hours a
And I
day, is
feel
it? Is that just 12 hours over
yeah,
the week? Or 12 hours?
yeah, over the week.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
And I feel I wanted to sort of be involved and see these tournaments launch and see what, deal with some customers and stuff myself, because I feel like I'll be very disattached if I don't do that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time I spend at home doing social media, such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, basically pushing events and things like that for the business.
Yeah, right. That's pretty
It's
cool.
good. Like there's a reason why so many Twitch streamers are also social managers or community managers, because that's what
Yeah.
they do with their own communities.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like I run the Discord for that business and everything like that. So
They're very good interchangeable skills for like
yeah,
an
it's
online job or a real life job, whatever.
if
However you
you
want to name it.
want a community manager or a social manager, I don't think there's anyone better to hire than someone who is a reasonably successful streamer. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Huh, so
Yeah.
how are you
So
going managing that and managing streaming? Like, I guess
it's
equal
easy.
balance.
Like I work like 3 to 4 hours on a Saturday and a Sunday, which my day's off from streaming.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it I just do over the course of the week. So it's actually kind of cheeky. My Monday night is my stream night off.
Ooh.
Because I work like a 6-hour shift at the store.
Yeah.
Running their Dungeons and Dragons night, like of all
wow.
things, to be super nerdy.
Yeah.
And then I decided that as soon as the store shuts at like 10 p.m. that I have some of my friends come into the store. We lock the store up, and then we play Dungeons and Dragons until like 2 a.m. in the morning.
That sounds like heaps of
mega
fun.
nerd. It's I've never discovered Dungeons and Dragons until like COVID, to lockdown.
Yeah.
I love it. And I do the role of the dungeon master or the person who
Do
does
you
all the
really?
storytelling and everything. Yeah, I don't play it. I like make up the stories, and
I heard that's quite
I love
hard
it.
to do. So, good work.
It's a challenge. I really enjoy it because I found when I was playing
You're
Dungeons
very
and Dragons
creative
as a
as
player,
well. You have a really good like imagination, so I can
I
see you being
try.
really good at it.
So I've got this story that's all full of vampires and
Yeah.
like a dark gothic world that I'm doing, which is I'm really enjoying it. I am a garden variety nerd. I love my video games, my card games, my Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, pretty much what I am.
That's cool. I was looking at getting into it because I have a mate, and him and his mate play, and they're gonna like try and teach me, but yeah, that kind of got thrown out the window. And now I'm like, you know what? There's just too much to learn.
Yeah,
Like,
it
put
is.
the
It's
back burner.
there is a lot of stuff in the world that I wish I had time to do,
Yeah.
and there's just not enough time to do it. And
There isn't.
I don't know if you're anything like me when it comes to streaming. I'm constantly tweaking and fixing things and improving things and changing things. How many different overlays have you seen on my stream?
Oh, heaps. I even saw you do an overlay. Like I sat with you in a voice call while you're doing an overlay, and I think that lasted maybe like a week and a half. And all of a sudden it was changed again. I'm like, you just spent like 12 hours on that and you've changed it. Like
Yeah, I'm the worst. I just get like literally I'll be sleeping and I'll come up with an idea while I'm in bed, and I'll like stumble over to my computer and start working on it. It used to be worse when I had a green screen, because when you have a green screen, you have infinite creativity.
Are you bringing back your green screen? I know I was watching a stream that you're doing where you're editing live as you do, and you're trying to bring back your green screen. Oh my god, green screen.
Green screen.
to put
Yeah,
as
I was
a
trying
studio
to.
or something. Yeah. What
I
happened?
I actually
Forgot
technically
about it?
you do some green screen. Like what you're seeing right now actually has some green screen parts in it.
Yeah, some of your
Because
screens.
this TV screen here,
Yeah.
which my hand is in front of, is actually green screen.
Yeah.
So when I move my head over here, because this is actually a projection right here, and I have a green screen over the top of it, but it's not actually a green screen. It's what's called NVIDIA Broadcast.
Oh yeah.
So it's a green screen without a green screen. So here and here on my arcade machine, these are not actually here.
Yeah, I knew that much.
The arcade machine, like I can turn the arcade machine screen off, gone, and I can
Nice,
turn
funny.
the side TV off here. I can sort of turn them off on the side. It's just a normal TV.
Yeah.
But I'm putting these projections over the top of it, so I do like hybriding green screen and non-green screen stuff at the same time. It's I just love playing with tech. Like I just love it. I love creating
You've got heaps of like
new
new
things.
little. Are they? You see the boxes? What
Mhm.
the? Oh my
Up here,
god.
are you talking to
Nah,
the pop
look.
vinyls?
Nah, down next to you. What are they all sitting on? Like your dice and.
Oh, these
Yeah.
yellow things. This is
Yeah.
all my Cyberpunk 2077 merch. I'm kind of obsessed with Cyberpunk, as you can see from the chair
Holy
and
shit! Is
the
that your new chair?
yeah, that's the Cyberpunk. There we go.
Yeah.
You can see it, the Cyberpunk 2077 chair,
Oh my
and a whole
gosh.
bunch of Cyberpunk merch. And I even put a skin on my this is a PlayStation 5 here actually, but it's got a Cyberpunk skin on it.
Oh my
Which is
goodness! You got so much.
yeah,
Sorry,
I'm a
podcast. We're
collector.
just
I
looking at
don't
different
drink,
things.
I don't smoke, I don't really go out that much. This is like I just collect geeky shit. So
How big are the boxes?
these ones,
Yeah.
it's a giant collector's edition box. How do I? Well,
Just measure it with
here's
your
a mug.
hands.
Here's a mug, I guess. So if I show you,
Oh yeah.
there's
Just
a
looks like it's
mug.
really
So
low on
it's
the ground, but everything looks so big on it.
well, this is the collector's edition of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, right.
But you
That's
can see that
crazy.
the rest of the box is up here.
Oh yeah, okay,
Background.
wow, yeah.
Yeah, so this is just incredible. This is like the Cyberpunk Xbox One. I'm a tragic. I'm aware that the game has a lot of flaws and stuff, but I love it. I
You love
absolutely
it.
love it.
Yeah. You're not the only
Especially
one. I know someone else who loves it as well and still
the
plays a lot.
design aesthetic of everything. I just love the aesthetic and the
Mhm.
graphic design of it's been fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Your room's
Hmm.
changed a bit, that's all. So I was just
It
admiring a bit of
is.
your change around.
It is like I've changed. I've definitely changed a few things. It's also a bit weird without the black bars. Like I have my overlays are obviously missing, so
Yeah.
it looks a little bit different with the overlays. Like I don't like as you can see here, it's a little bit messy in this corner and it's a little bit messy down here because usually I have like overlays there, so
Maybe
you
that's what
can't
it
normally
is.
see
Maybe I can just
everything.
see more.
Yeah, well, look, I've just had a paper plate on screen this entire time. That's
I
fine.
didn't even notice the whole time,
I didn't even
actually.
notice until then either. So shh, no one say this in the comments, all right?
No
one
one
saw it.
rewatch this podcast. Oh gosh. Getting croaky voice. What has been, out of your whole Twitch career, what has been a highlight of yours? Facebook, Twitch, doesn't matter. A streaming highlight.
The streaming highlight, like this is a bit of a cliched thing, but like I hit 1,000 subs
Oh yes, I
one
remember
night, which
that.
was I think I started the night at like 680 or something like that. And for some reason my entire community just went crazy and just
Insane.
rallied behind me one night. And I don't know why. They just went crazy. They just started gifting me subs and everything. It was just
That's awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
And I got to 1,000 subs and that was and then sort of that was the momentum. And over the next couple of months I sort of thought to myself, I'm like, I can quit my job.
This could
So
actually be something.
yeah, the day that I'm doing part-time work at the moment to supplement what I'm doing, but like 8 months ago or so, I got to walk into my office and tell my boss that I was quitting because I was going to go play video games for a living.
How good does that sound?
And that was a highlight, if that makes sense. Because like
Yeah.
he sort of like laughs at me and he's like, "Wait, you're serious, aren't you?" And I'm like,
Yes.
and that was awesome. That was crazy. Like Twitch is obviously very, very temperamental sometimes. Like some months you'll make a bunch, some months you don't make enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And while it worked for a few months, my suggestion is full-time Twitch is very difficult. I would recommend if you're thinking about doing full-time Twitch, do something part-time on the side to sort of guarantee
Keep your
your bills
foot
to
in
be
something
paid.
else. Yeah,
Yeah. Because I think
definitely.
maybe I did that a little bit preemptively. But the thing is, there's no way I could do what I do now with a full-time job. So
Yeah.
I do. There are people out there who stream full-time and work full-time, and I don't know how they do it. You've obviously got big work coming up and everything soon, so it's gonna be interesting to see how you juggle all that as well.
Yeah, I've kind of planned a lot out. I kind of had like a whole roster going, like a whole schedule going, and then I got this job, and I was like, shit, we need to reevaluate again.
Yeah.
And even my training is now getting thrown in the deep end. Like I can't make my training class on Monday nights. I'm like, hey Dolly, can't make my Monday night classes. What can we do? So I'm having to change everything. So this is becoming interesting for me now.
Yeah, it's just an interesting world that we live in where
Mm,
streaming is legitimately a viable
yeah.
career. Like
I don't know if it's a
some of my
viable
family still
career for
thinks it's
me,
crazy.
but it's definitely something that I have a lot of interest and passion in. And I've been
Yeah.
saying for ages now, like I don't want a job where I have to give up streaming because I enjoy it that much. So
Yeah,
trying to make
exactly.
it
And that
work is the
it's
hard
part of
bit.
my life now.
Mm,
It's definitely something I don't want to be with. I mean, if I can, and that's the thing is, like, with what happened with me recently in terms of Facebook and stuff like that, I could have made that work really, really well for me financially and
Facebook?
financially and job wise, if that makes sense. But I'd need to sacrifice a lot of what I love about streaming to do that. If I wanted to, grind Call of Duty
Oh, okay, yeah. I get what you
every
mean.
day, all day, I probably could end up making more money or being a lot bigger than what I am.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that.
But
I
it's not what
want to
you
do my
enjoy though.
chatting. I want to do my IRL. I want to play my new releases. I want to play what I enjoy playing.
I
I
guess
don't
also you have
want
to
to
look
be
at if you're gonna grind COD and that's not your core passion, it's going to come through and may hinder
correct.
you though. So
And it'll feel
yeah.
like a job. And
Mm,
inevitably, without a doubt, at some point I'll burn out.
yeah.
And the cool thing about the way that I stream, and I think it's kind of similar to how you stream as well, we kind of play what we feel like playing, but we also have our community chatting. We've got, stream raiders, which I can't wait to get back into, by the way.
Yeah, it's been great.
All of that type of stuff. Uh, that's why I've never felt burnout on streaming because I'm just doing what I enjoy doing,
Yeah.
which is
That's
good.
good. It's how it should be. I
Yeah,
think
I
streaming's
think
good
so.
enough that there's the option to be like that.
I've always been like that in life as well. I will always, if I had a choice between two jobs, one that'll make me a ridiculous amount of money and one that'll just make me good money, if I'm going to enjoy one a hell of a lot more than the other, I'm going to pick the less
The
one
one that makes you
because
happy.
I value my time and I value enjoying life more than just money. But I know there's people out there that can do both, but no, I'm not like that. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
No, I agree with you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm personally happy you're coming back to Twitch.
Thank
I
you.
can't
Well,
wait to work. You're the second
a
most
couple of
watched
days.
people for me in 2020 actually.
I was the second most, was I?
I'm pretty sure you're the second. I think Hitch was my first.
Yeah, see, my I sort of,
I'm pretty sure
I think
you're the
I was
second.
my own first apparently, and that showed up on a lot of people's lists as that they were their first,
Yeah, I
which
wasn't
and
on
I
mine at
don't
all.
understand why.
Do you have do you have your Twitch dashboard open when you stream?
All the time it sits on the side.
See, I don't. I think
Oh,
that's what it
really?
is. Yep, I don't have Twitch open at all.
Oh, okay. So my secondary, my Twitch dashboard is open 24/7 on my
No.
side thing here, which you're right has an embedded video player. You're right.
So I think that's why people are their own number ones. Where me,
Yeah, I
I
think
only
so.
have OBS up. That's
You
it.
think that they could? You think that they could come up with some kind of algorithm to remove yourself from that list? But
Yeah, it's Twitch.
yeah, it's I've appeared on a lot of people's lists. It's been really, really
It's
fascinating
nice.
just having these people tag me on Twitter and saying, "Hey, you were like my number one watch streamer." I'm like, this is so weird.
It's a bit heartwarming. Like I just got a few DMs, and I'm like, "Flick, you're my first
Did I
one."
have?
Oh,
Do I have
that's
it
nice.
here?
What?
Yeah, like this is like I get stuff in the post like I mean like I get mail in my PO box every so often from like viewers and things like that.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
this is really cool. So this is This is from Luminosaura, who is one of the people in my stream.
Yeah.
And she did like she just literally posted. I don't know if you can see this because of the light. Posted
Wow.
fan art of my cat.
That is really awesome. That's so
Yeah,
clever.
yeah, and literally posted it all the way from where is it? From Massachusetts in the US.
Nice.
So like I have this little collection of things, and not only that, there was like little pendants and
Yeah.
little pendants, and she sent a badge that says like, you know, I'm in love with my cult. I've got it on
Oh,
my
you got your
jacket
badge
here, and
on. Oh, wow.
people have sent me soft toys, and it's
Nice.
weird. Like it's the type of things you only think that like happens to celebrities, and
Yeah.
but these people come to me and they're like, you know, you've really helped me with, you know, just getting through tough years and mental illness and things like that just by talking to me, and I'm like blown away by that type of stuff. It's
It's
really
like, I'm
cool.
just here talking and playing games, but I'm glad it helped you.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like sometimes streaming is just you're a friend for somebody, which is a good
Yeah.
thing. So
That's good.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, Ghost,
Yes.
we're gonna call it there. But it's been
Okay.
fantastic talking to you, though.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah, I really
I
enjoyed it.
appreciate
I'm glad we finally got to have a chat.
it. You gave me like a you sort of without going too far behind the scenes, you gave me like a little list of questions here, and I think we sort of avoided half of it. We just got lost in our little world of
Which
talking
I
about
love. I love how I just
related
get
things.
lost.
Yeah.
It's good. I just
Which
have
is
them there
awesome.
just to like, just in case. But I
Yeah.
love it how just like it just flows and go the next one, and then I find another question to ask from that. So I don't
That's
care.
why we're friends, Flick.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
Yeah.
But I would definitely
Exactly.
come to Melbourne when I can, and we'll
Yeah, please
definitely
do.
IRL stream together again when I
Yeah,
come to
I'll
Melbourne.
definitely. There's a lot of places I want to show people around Melbourne in terms of IRL streaming. There's an amazing street art culture down here in Melbourne,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
makes for incredible IRL content. So yeah,
Yeah, and we'll have
definitely.
to do like a ghost house tour or something because we're gonna do one up here, but yeah, COVID times.
Yeah, COVID kind of ruins everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But yeah,
We'll see
so
how we are.
I will add Ghost's links down below,
Thank you.
but he has a Twitter, which is
Mhm.
are you Ghost? What do you want to tell
A
everyone? I don't
Ghost
know what.
Arcade.
There you go. So it's the
So
arcade
it's
one.
A Ghost Arcade on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok.
Yeah,
But don't
go
go
TikTok.
there.
I'm gonna go there now. I don't think I follow you on
No, there's only
TikTok.
one video, and it's just me playing around with TikTok. I have to work on it. I'll get there eventually. But yeah,
TikTok is
Instagram
a
and
big learning
Twitter are my
curve.
main sources.
Yep, cool. So follow him there, guys.
Thank you.
This is going to be on a Friday, so you would have missed his Tuesday one, but go follow him. He's back on Twitch. He's amazing. He's so much fun. His streams are great. He is very, you're always very energetic, full of color, full of
Lots of lights
music,
and
lights, and everything.
flashing and
And
all
he
of
has a
these
really
things going
cute
on.
cat. You guys probably missed the cat, but there was a cat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go
Back
give
at the
him a
start of the
follow.
video, you'll see it sitting there for the first like
It's really
half an
cute.
hour, I
Its ears
think.
are like always down. Like I love its ears.
Got
And
to
he has
troll, yeah.
ferrets.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got ferrets and horses and cats and just a lot of animals.
Wait, you
Yeah.
have horses? I had no idea you had horses.
Yeah, we do. We've got 4 gypsy cob horses, which are the big fluffy ones from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, my partner's
Where do
she's
they
a
live?
horse. They live about 45 minutes from our house on a little
My
property.
gosh.
Yeah, like a little adjustment property where we put them there. So yeah.
You should
She's
do an
a
IRL
farrier,
stream
so
with that.
yeah.
That'd be cool. Wait, she's a what?
Yeah. She's a farrier, so she's a pony pedicurist is the best way to think of it.
Oh,
She gives little fixes the pony's toes.
that's really cute. I like that.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Yeah.
But yeah. Well, yeah, thank you again for spending some time with me.
Problem.
Go give him a follow. And yeah, I can't wait to catch your streams, and I'll see you on Tuesday night, or I'll see you whenever you stream next. Yeah.
I'll definitely see you then.
All right. See you
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye.